Wake up, we're not done yet.
We're not?
No, stop.
Fuck's sake.
Sorry.
And then you guys have the nerve to say I don't give a shit about yous. I'm doing this because yous fucking voted for CM Punk. The Daniel Bryan storyline would have been a lot quicker. But you wanted CM Punk, you're going to get CM Punk.
To be brutally honest, though, I mean, the Daniel Bryan story of him versus the Authority, the really only change we really needed to make was
him
just,
winning the Rumble.
Yeah, honestly, at the end of at the end of the day,
that was
all those fuck finishes could have been forgiven if you just would have had Daniel Bryan. That's really the only thing you had to do. That's it. Just have him win the Rumble.
Honestly, you know what I would have did with that, just to make a little addendum?
Go ahead.
I would have had Triple H put himself in the TLC match with Orton and Cena after the titles were joined.
Yeah.
And have Triple H the WWE champion and have the main event be Triple H versus Bryan for the belt. Because that's really the story the fans wanted. They wanted to see Bryan beat Triple H, but they wanted to see Bryan win the title. So why not just do both?
I'm all on that for a little bit, but let's
but this is not why we're here.
Yeah,
we're here for the CM Punk story. Now, last we left you, it was SummerSlam.
CM Punk barely escaped, and even then, that's kind of debatable because he, of course, got F5'd at the end of the match anyway.
By Brock Lesnar.
Daniel
Daniel Bryan subsequently defeated The Rock.
Only to lose it immediately to heel John Cena.
Who was the Money in the Bank holder.
Right.
And Dolph Ziggler lost the Intercontinental title to the Ryback.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am calling him that.
Mm-hmm. Who's your United States champion right now?
At this point at SummerSlam, I would have had Cesaro just win the belt.
Yes.
By whoever had it, you're dropping
Ziggler is also your SmackDown SmackDown title holder.
Money in the Bank holder.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
To which you could actually have him cash in on Sheamus.
Right.
The night after SummerSlam.
If you wanted to do that.
Because he lost the one title he had, and he gains another.
Makes a lot of sense. It's usually what you do with IC champions, or back in the day when the belt meant something.
Yeah, which we have done. Because Dolph Ziggler is a meaningful Intercontinental champion. He doesn't lose on Raw and SmackDown. We have him win.
Right.
Now, Night of Champions, this is the card we had lined up. CM Punk takes this pay-per-view off after going through that ordeal with Brock Lesnar, because that would have been a no-holds-barred match.
Mm-hmm.
You get in the ring with Brock Lesnar, you deserve at least a month.
Absolutely. See, here's the difference. We actually would give CM Punk some vacation. We wouldn't have him come back immediately after.
You know, because the company isn't going to sink because he takes a month off.
No, especially not now. Now that you got 7 other people everybody are interested in.
Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Yeah. By the way, just a little bit of a free tip. When you have people and workers that everybody wants to see, like many of them, that doesn't mean you have to milk your other star athletes to death. You can actually afford to give them some time off.
Exactly, and that's the whole goal here. We want our stars to be healthier. Mm-hmm. We want them to want to be in the limelight, not run for time off like Punk was wrestling that match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania hoping to get injured. We don't want that shit. Because that's the wrong attitude you want your talent to have, because then bad shit's going to happen, people are going to get hurt, and that's not what you want, especially as a business. No, it's not best for business. But this storyline is. Now we're getting into Night of Champions.
Right.
We have Dolph Ziggler defending his newly won World Heavyweight title against Sheamus.
For the rematch.
For the rematch, in which Dolph Ziggler, remember, he cashes in the night after SummerSlam. He's the World Heavyweight Champion.
All right. Now, let's continue here. Let's go back for just a minute on Monday Night Raw, and let's put everybody into perspective right now. We are at the end of SummerSlam. What does our heel faction look like right now? We have Triple H, the man with the plan. You have the heel champion, John Cena, the paid face of the company. You have Brock Lesnar,
the hired assassin
of
Triple
H.
And now you have added The Rock.
The legendary Rock to your heel faction.
Now, it would have been great if we had Flair. The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
That'd be way too much, honestly.
The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse fits perfectly
honestly,
with these four.
I'm surprised.
But do you understand what it is that we've done with that? Why did we put those four together? Please explain, Larry.
Let's take a look at this. Going back again, you'll notice that the theme that I've been creating here, we've been creating here, and then that I'm just putting into focus, is that we are taking
what the fans
think, animosity, the animosity that they've had, and turning it again into the story that should be told, because it's what the fans want to see. So again, let me remind everybody, we have Triple H, the guy who, in his earlier career, was accused of putting nobody over, and even to this day is accused, wrongfully so now, of burying newer talent. You have John Cena, the glass ceiling. You have Brock Lesnar and The Rock,
the paid part-timers,
who are constantly hogging. Say again. Go ahead.
That are being paid more than everybody.
That are being paid more than everybody else,
because of past accomplishments.
Right. Who are leeching the morale of the locker room, and in the fans' eyes, are giving more of a push and are taking away the limelight of the newer superstars. You basically have here the past that refuses to step aside or pass the torch to the newer generation, which we're trying to build at the same time. They're standing in the way of Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, who the crowd wants to now see get over on these heels, these bad guys who now they are allowed to freely boo, and they're not being told to cheer for, like they're wrongfully doing with John Cena right now in the current product. So, that having been said, we are now at the next night on Raw after SummerSlam. We're going into Night of Champions. The first thing that happens is...
big celebration. John Cena is the WWE Champion. Yahoo! Wave the flags. Daniel Bryan's music hits. Triple H readies the troops to go and stop him from coming out. John Cena's the only one in the ring with the belt. He turns around, he eats a Psycho knee, and Daniel Bryan escapes through the crowd. Triple H is fuming. Yes chants all around the fucking place.
Yep.
Now, what we also have at Night of Champions, aside from John Cena and Daniel Bryan, one, which ends in a double disqualification, because you can't have the finish be clean here.
Right. Or you can't really have a finish period at this point, because you're trying to build the momentum of Daniel Bryan now. Now, this is where you first officially this is where his first official real push as a face comes into play. Now that he has beaten The Rock for the title, it's time to it's basically time to put him into that major power spot. So you don't want him losing right now.
No, you don't want him, and you don't want him losing clean. I don't care what anyone says.
John Cena is also your top. Yep, and John Cena is also your top heel right now, and your top champion, your top guy right now. Again, you don't want him losing right now. So yes, in this particular case, and I hate these, but in this particular case, it's understandable.
Fuck finish is necessary.
Yeah.
Now, also, we have Dolph Ziggler against Sheamus. Dolph Ziggler retains.
Absolutely.
The World Heavyweight title with a roll-up.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't win by holding the ropes. He out-wrestles Sheamus. He outmaneuvers the big guy.
Right.
Ryback defends the Intercontinental title. You could have it be against anybody.
I believe we actually chose R-Truth for this one.
We actually did.
Because actually R-Truth, at this point in time, believe it or not, people, R-Truth was a very credible performer at one point. And him going in... Now, remember, at this point, the IC champion actually does mean something right now. And we're building it as such. So this time, you might actually take the son of a bitch seriously this time.
And you know what else we could do, foreshadowing what they possibly could have done? Cesaro defends the United States Championship against Tyson Kidd. In what would be a pretty good fucking match.
Oh, yes.
And you're putting this on Night of Champions. You're giving your champions at least 15-minute matches. I mean, you have a 3-hour fucking show.
And what's that? How many matches is that? US, IC, the tag team champion. Rhodes Scholars can go up against, whoever.
You can put them up against any team because they were that good.
Right. Absolutely. And yeah, right there, that's 5 matches on a 3-hour card. Well, 15 minutes each. You still got room to spare for some newer guys.
Exactly.
Always got to keep building.
Our next pay-per-view after Night of Champions is...
Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, CM Punk had a night off. Yeah. Hell in a Cell.
Bring down the cell. Only this time the cell actually has meaning.
Absolutely. So, CM Punk returns after his match against Brock Lesnar.
Which he won. Which he did win.
He did win.
And he could confront Triple H and say, not for nothing, I beat your hired assassin. I'm entitled to a title match. To which Triple H really has no choice. Because CM Punk keeps throwing, I beat Lesnar. I beat Lesnar. I beat Lesnar. Triple H can't deny it. So he says, fine. And now John Cena's pissed off. Why are you putting me in the ring with two guys inside the cell?
Yep.
John Cena's like, what are you doing? Fighting one's enough.
Mm-hmm.
And Triple H said, my hands are tied. My hands are tied.
Uh-huh.
Because you could have the board of directors come down on Triple H saying you can't abuse your power, otherwise, precautions will be taken or whatever.
Yeah.
My hands are tied. There's nothing I could do. They're both entitled.
Right.
And what happens is, during the match,
now, I'd like to also say at one point here, one gentleman who we have not been showcasing so far up until this point that much has been Randy Orton. Now, Randy Orton, at this point in time, he is noticing a lot of familiar things right now,
Triple
including
H taking people under his wing.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock, John Cena, and Brock Lesnar.
And what does Randy Orton say to Triple H?
He turns around and he says, I find it to be a shame how so many people are fooled by you. Because every person you've ever taken close to you, you have turned on them. Myself included.
Mm-hmm.
And he turns around and he says, you love yourself. I love this business. My blood is this business. Mm-hmm. And I'll be damned if I'm going to see you flush it down the toilet because you want to play an ego game and you want to use the future of this business that we have all worked our asses off to build as your little playthings. Randy Orton puts himself with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan and says, listen.
That's right.
I may not agree with you guys on a lot of things, but you're damn good. You're damn good. You're better than what he says, and I'll be damned if I watch him fuck you guys over.
That's
Not
right.
in those terms, but you get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
At Hell in the Cell, Triple H goes down to that ring with bolt cutters because the referee gets knocked down. While CM Punk has Cena in the GTS, Cena's legs hit
and in this match, it's very clear that essentially, okay, I hate to use this as the bridge of comparison here, but think of it as Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Brie Bella. When every time Brie Bella was thrown out of the match, they made sure that she was out of the match first, and then they'd fight. It is no secret that CM Punk and Daniel Bryan are doing everything in their power to lay out John Cena in this match, and then fight amongst themselves for the title as men. And they make this clear, that there's no animosity between them. It is business. Once we get rid of Cena, we are going to determine who the real champion is. So, Cena is probably destroyed in this match. He is just laid out, but he does come back in every now and then, basically, using amazing tactics, splitting them up, beating up CM Punk while Bryan's laid out in the corner. So we protect John Cena in that way. And then at one point, Bryan's laid out in the corner.
The referee gets knocked down because of the GTS, because of the legs. Then Triple H walks down with bolt cutters. Mm-hmm. The cage is opened up. Mm-hmm. Triple H picks up those bolt cutters, and he whacks CM Punk over the head. Here comes Randy Orton. Randy Orton steps into the ring. He shoves Triple H, saying, what the hell do you think you're doing? Daniel Bryan gets up. RKO. Why do we do this? Because isn't Randy Orton one of those guys who's been pounded down the fans' throats for years that they're tired of seeing him paired with John Cena in matches again and again and again and again and again and again and again?
And there's your fifth guy.
There's your fifth guy.
For a little pay-per-view that we like to call
Survivor Series. Now, look at what we've done here. We have Randy Orton, John Cena, Triple H, The Rock, and Brock Lesnar all on one side.
And who do we get to help out these poor schmucks, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk?
Well, let's see.
Usually the best.
Did we build anyone up?
I don't know. Did we?
Well,
it's interesting because
we have a U.S. champion.
We have an Intercontinental Champion.
We have a World Heavyweight Champion.
We have all of these people who are destined to be the future of the company, and yet, despite them holding the belts and being amazing performers, they can't seem to get over these guys.
But you know what happens? CM Punk holds a meeting in the locker room. He says, anyone that has a name signed to WWE better meet in this locker room. We are having a talent meeting.
That's right.
And everyone, the heels, the baby faces, we are blurring the lines because it's us against them. You're never going to get your... CM Punk basically says, listen, you're never going to get your push. You're never going to get your opportunity because these guys are never going to get out of the way unless we kick them out of the way.
Absolutely.
And he says, any of you that are wearing gold, especially are threats to them because you're building momentum and they will not allow anyone to get over on them.
So look at what you have here. You have this dominant force of The Rock, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, and Randy Orton. And what is it going to take them down finally?
Unity.
The unity
of the WWE locker room.
of the labeled top guys in the business, of which you have CM Punk, at this point multi-challenger for the WWF title, and basically the #1 guy against the Authority. You have Daniel Bryan,
who beat The Rock.
Who had the belt
stolen from him.
Who beat The Rock, beat Randy Orton,
and Punk as well,
and CM Punk himself also. You have your World Heavyweight Champion, Dolph Ziggler. You have the Intercontinental Championship, the Ryback.
Who is over at this point.
Who is over. Yeah, now he is. And now, after we're obviously like gradually turning anti-hero into babyface with him at this point because, he's had to have entertained the hell out of everybody with his performance at this point.
Cesaro.
You have your United States Champion, Cesaro. 5-on-5.
You're building Survivor
Series.
Series.
Look at what you have there.
You're building Survivor Series around this match.
And now, at this time, also, I'd like to say, at this time, if you're wondering what the other matches are right now, this is basically where you begin the crop building for your next big year. You start showcasing people like... were the Usos in there yet?
Yeah, they just got in.
So you have the Usos in there to showcase. You still have Rhodes Scholars with the tag team titles. You could still use Kane and the Big Show to help bring over the newer crop of talent. Jack Swagger is still there at the time, was he not?
Yes,
you
he
still
was.
have Wade Barrett. God damn it, you could finally give that guy some
chance.
heat. You know what I mean? You have to be able, because you already at this time have a match that people, and you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about those other matches, like, they will write themselves, because you're telling me that at that time, that Survivor Series main event is not enough
to hook you?
To hook you?
Of course it is.
Everything else is just a treat at that point. And you know what? There'll be a treat worth savoring, because you're going to let these guys shine.
Now,
let's talk about the match.
The match itself, the 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. The first person eliminated we had was it Brock Lesnar via disqualification? Who was it?
Randy Orton. Randy Orton was the first one out.
The first one eliminated via...
I believe it
was
Brian.
It was Brian
Bryan.
with the yes
lock.
lock.
With the yes lock.
And he looks Triple H right in the eye as he does it. And he doesn't let go.
Mm-hmm.
He shows him, you're fighting us.
And that's when Brock Lesnar gets in the ring to throw his ass off him and throw him all over the place, basically, because he's Brock Lesnar, and that's what he does.
And then Brian tags in Ryback, who's one of their strongest guys.
Right.
And Brock Lesnar ragdolls him.
They do. Ryback, yeah, that's correct. Ryback puts up a hell of a fight against Brock Lesnar.
Even gives him with the meat hook clothesline and gets the Feed Me More going. He gets it for the shell shock. Brock slips out. F5.
Actually, I would even say here's how I would probably do that. Have him hit one meat hook, then knowing it's for another one, have him try to do it again. Brock Lesnar spears the fuck out of him, and then F5.
But after that point, Cesaro gets in there, and he German suplexes Brock Lesnar. And Brock is like...
For the first time, because if anybody could ragdoll Brock Lesnar...
It is Cesaro.
It is the ridiculous man that is Cesaro. Cesaro, the man who caught Biggie Langston in midair and did not move. I don't care what... the laws of physics do not apply to this man. So... If anyone was able to ragdoll Brock Lesnar, it would be Cesaro.
And you have Cesaro swing him.
Mm-hmm.
And the crowd would be going nuts. But what happens is Brock rolls out of the ring, he grabs a chair,
Absolutely.
and he whacks Cesaro.
Well, he doesn't have to grab a chair right there. He could get him out of the ring and then grab a chair because, Brock Lesnar would be frustrated at this point. And I would actually see if Cesaro would want to sell the power move and just get flung out of the ring by Brock Lesnar.
But Brock gets eliminated via disqualification.
And, of course, because Cesaro is down and out, he does get counted out because he's the legal man in the ring. So it's a double elimination right there.
To where now what we have is The Rock, John Cena, and
Triple H versus Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and Dolph Ziggler.
3 on 3. We're down to 3. Now, Triple H is next on the elimination list.
Bear in mind, the way we're describing this, these things don't necessarily have to happen one after another. You can
we're just giving you the spots in which they're eliminated.
Absolutely.
He gets eliminated via the GTS.
Who?
Triple H.
Triple H, yes. Triple H does get eliminated.
He gets eliminated via the GTS.
And why does he get eliminated? Because Cesaro does come to and
distract
him, yes. Because,
payback.
It's payback.
Exactly. Now it's just The Rock and Cena. Dolph Ziggler gets in there, and he's pounding on Cena. He tags in The Rock. The Rock and Dolph Ziggler going back and forth. The Rock hits the rock bottom, but Ziggler kicks out, and The Rock's like, this schmuck just kicked out of my finish. Ziggler, as The Rock is going for the people's elbow, hits him with a nasty super kick. Nasty super kick.
That's right.
The Rock kicks out.
Dolph
Ziggler goes for another one. Cena friggin' hangs him up on the top rope. Rock bottom. Ziggler's eliminated. Now we're down to the best in the beard and The Rock and Cena.
That's right.
That's what you're down to. Now, Daniel Bryan gets in there, and he's kicking The Rock for all he's worth. Cena distracts the referee. The Rock hits the low blow on Bryan, rolls him up, and Bryan...
actually, we had Triple H come back and hit the low blow.
That's right. That's right.
Triple H...
I tell a lie.
Because remember, Triple H is the ire of Daniel Bryan right now. The ire of Daniel Bryan.
So The Rock is getting his ass kicked by Bryan, and then when the referee's distracted by Cena, Triple H low blows Bryan. Rock rolls him up and gets the 3 count. Now, Triple H is laughing at Daniel Bryan. Oh, Daniel Bryan's pissed off because he just got rolled up. The Rock is pointing at him. Bryan kicks him right into the GTS. The Rock is eliminated. We are down to Cena and Bryan. We are down to Cena and
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
Cena and CM Punk. Now, CM Punk, Cena have a legitimate match as much as they can, given, they're probably tired at this point. They're doing wrestling as best they can. And I remember myself saying that we're not keeping that much continuity, but there's one little thing that I think we're going to keep. So, CM Punk has that match won, so he thinks here comes the Hounds of Justice.
And they triple powerbomb Punk right through the fucking table. They bring him back into the ring. Cena gets the cover. And John Cena's team wins. It's amazing. For Cena haters, we have him winning so many matches.
I know, right?
Yeah, because we're just haters. We're just haters.
Because the problem is, the thing is we're booking Cena the way people want to see Cena booked. You know what I mean? If you want to hate someone, book them as a heel. If you want to cheer someone, book them as a face. Like I said, WWE would not even be around today if they continued to try to get Stone Cold booed. They would not be around today, guys. All right?
That's why you have to listen to your audience.
That's the thing. If they continue...
If they actually listened to their audience, we wouldn't be doing this. We would be looking back on the great stories that they told, not the missed opportunities like this.
Well, now, there's always... Well, remember...
There's always blunders, but...
Like the Invasion. We all loved WWE back then. In fact, WWE's product at that time was like one of the best you could have had. And,
even though the Invasion was completely fucking retarded, we are in the process of rebooking that and will be available on YouTube this Christmas. But that's a shameless plug because I love retelling that story.
On the JLE network for only $9.99.
Dummy. Now we get to TLC where we have Daniel Bryan, Ryback, and Dolph Ziggler against The Shield, in which The Shield wins in a 3-on-3 match.
Yes. This was at TLC, right? Yeah.
TLC. And also we have CM Punk. Was it Oh, yeah, no. I tell a lie. It was Cesaro, Dolph Ziggler, and Ryback against The Shield.
Right.
And we had a fatal 4-way TLC, which was Cena, Orton, Bryan, and Punk.
Right.
to which John Cena retained.
We're kind of borrowing the thing from where Kane was supposed to. What was it? Kane was supposed to protect
Randy Orton. Money in the Bank 2014.
Yeah, right.
It's basically reversing it with Randy Orton and Cena. Now we get to the Royal Rumble.
Yes, and
Bryan,
we're now entering into the final chapter of the Summer.
Daniel Bryan versus, and we're going to go through this as fast as we can, ladies and gentlemen, because we only got 10 minutes left on our video. We have Daniel Bryan challenging Cena for the final time.
Yep.
In which Daniel Bryan has kneed John Cena in the face. He has it won. The referee comes down. Triple H cold clocks him. Daniel Bryan's had up to here with Triple H getting involved in his matches. He suicide dives and he clobbers Triple H. And he's whipping his ass. He's killing him. They end up in the ring. He walks into an AA and he gets pinned.
Right. Sad times, indeed. But
good times are ahead.
As I said, the road to WrestleMania is paved with blood. So
we also have at the Royal Rumble, CM Punk has been entered into the Royal Rumble at number 1.
Yep. Once again, out of spite.
Out of spite. And then Triple H takes it a step further. He offers a $100,000 bounty on the head of CM Punk for anyone that could eliminate him.
Shades of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And Mr. McMahon. But you're actually playing it into how the fans feel about the situation.
And remember, at the time, one of the biggest fantasy matches being talked about at the time was CM Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. So much so that I remember they even sold the figure pack together, if I remember, when they were pushing WWE All-Stars.
They actually did. And you know what you're doing? You're taking CM Punk and putting him in the role of Austin because it fits, especially in this world.
Absolutely.
Now, CM Punk enters at number 1. He lasts through the whole fucking thing, and it comes down
to CM Punk
and the Big Show. Shades of Royal Rumble 2004. Only this time the winner doesn't do something horrible.
Right.
CM Punk, by the skin of his teeth, eliminates the Big Show. Uses the Big Show's own momentum against him. Doesn't power him because CM Punk's not a power guy.
Nope.
CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble. He has his big power celebration, points to the WrestleMania sign. He's the number 1 contender. But Triple H is the boss. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Right.
So what does he turn around and do? He says, all right, Punk, you won the Royal Rumble. No guarantee you're in the main event of WrestleMania because you're competing in the Elimination Chamber. It's yourself, Randy Orton, I believe it was Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Daniel Bryan, Ryback, Dolph Ziggler, and myself. To where if you lose, whoever wins is the number 1 contender. And Punk is hot about it. But you want to know what I would have done here?
Go ahead.
In all honesty, this is kind of improv. Once Triple H is in and Randy Orton is in, you have Bryan, Punk, Ryback, and Ziggler surround them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Randy Orton's eliminated. Those other guys walk out. Those other guys walk out.
Yep.
But what happens is this. Actually, you know what? Because that's not in their nature. You would have them be surrounded, whatever. Randy Orton sneaks an elimination on Ziggler. Triple H does the same thing on Ryback. Then CM Punk accidentally kicks Bryan in the face. But Punk gets RKO'd. Triple H pedigrees Bryan. And Triple H eliminates him. But then what happens is Punk gets Orton in some sort of submission hold, maybe the Koji clutch. That's a submission hold he used. And Bryan holds Triple H to where he can't help him, and Orton submits. Right. Triple H now realizes he's all alone with CM Punk. But when he turns around, he eats a running knee. Punk gets him in the GTS and he pins Triple H once again. You notice we're not having Triple H beat CM Punk.
Ever.
No, because we would have never done that.
Nope. So Punk remains intact. You have all the top guys.
And the end of the night, you have Daniel Bryan standing over the prone body of Triple H, doing the yes chant.
And I said you can have that shit eating face with CM Punk doing it too, when he's just like.
Because he's going to WrestleMania to fight John Cena for the WWE title. Now we're going to give you
let's talk about WrestleMania. Oh my. So, all this talent, all these titles that mean something, all these rivalries and unfinished business that we have now, it's almost like we're building to the end of a story.
I hate when I have to read the end on a story.
Yeah, I know.
Well, at least it's all worth something. Now,
Well,
is what
here
we're doing.
we go. So we know what our main event is. CM Punk, the long-awaited match
With John Cena.
John Cena versus CM Punk for the World Wrestling Entertainment title.
Now, we also have Dolph Ziggler,
the World Heavyweight Champion, versus
The Rock.
You have The Rock still in a title match as your secondary main event. Dolph Ziggler versus The Rock, because goddammit, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship actually still friggin' means something. Then you have our Intercontinental Champion,
Ryback. Defending that
title
against Randy Orton.
The man who never got it, but who never got a shot back at it in the first place, I believe, right?
No, he did get the rematch with Ziggler. Ziggler just beat him.
Ziggler beat him. But you know what? Now Randy Orton wants that title back. He wants back in that main event picture. He will fight the Ryback. Then we have
Cesaro versus Brock Lesnar
for the United States Championship.
Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering, why would The Rock go after the World Heavyweight title? Why would Brock Lesnar go after the U.S. title? Brock really isn't even after the U.S. title.
He just wants Cesaro
in the worst way. Mm-hmm. And Cesaro is willing to bet his trophy that he can beat Lesnar. Mm-hmm. It means more to Cesaro to beat Lesnar than to be the U.S. champion at this point.
And as for Ziggler and The Rock, well, again, you don't kick out of the rock bottom. You disrespect The Rock, you know? And since The Rock can't go after the WWE Championship right now, I'm going to take your belt, which is the second, which honestly, at the time, should mean as much as the WWE Champion for SmackDown. And damn it, jabroni, SmackDown is The Rock's show.
And you want to know why a lot of people are going to snicker at this, Larry?
Because they don't like Reese's.
No, because those belts have been so devalued, they think that they're worthless.
Right. Exactly.
But we're making these belts mean something. We've done that over the span of, 2 years?
Yeah. Yep. And that was only 5 matches. That was only 5 matches on the card, and all 5 of them are title matches. Which, what else are you doing at WrestleMania if not
U.S.
Intercontinental World Heavyweight Champion and WWE Champion. Oh! I'm sorry. The 5th match is not a title match. It is Daniel Bryan versus Triple H. We still get that match.
And it's the same result that you got at 30.
Absolutely, and hopefully the same goddamn good match.
Absolutely, that match was. I could watch that match 1,000 times.
I think honestly, most of the faces would go over. I would probably put Randy Orton over Ziggler. Probably.
No, Randy Orton is facing Ryback.
I mean Ryback. I'm sorry. Probably there would be the moment to probably, because you can put Ryback in the heavyweight title picture at that point. I think. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Do we set Ryback up to beat The Rock for the World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam? Because The Rock does beat Dolph Ziggler.
Yes, he does. Oh, wait, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? That's being questioned, but you know what? We didn't plan that far ahead.
No, we actually didn't.
So let's continue. We have the tag team titles that could still be decided. We can't work miracles, guys. So I don't know. We didn't have the NXT women's wrestlers at this point, so we can't really work miracles. I believe we did have AJ though, right?
Yes, we did.
Did we have Paige yet?
No.
No, right?
No.
Well, we could have AJ fighting for the title. We have Natty though, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so at some point I probably would have had AJ and Natty fight for the title in a proper match because they're 2 women who actually know how to wrestle. So
at least at that point, anyway.
At least at that point, okay.
There,
that's 7 matches, right there.
And we haven't even booked an undercard, which we could.
Didn't even book an undercard, and we've got the Shield hanging around.
You can put the Shield. The Shield, you would put them in a 3-on-3 match with guys like You could put them in a match with guys like Del Rio, Sheamus, and the Big Show. The match ends with a triple powerbomb to the Big Show.
Well, how's that for a spot for you, huh? And again, you don't make the Shield lose, not at WrestleMania.
No.
These 3 are your future. Because remember, you got the whole rest of the year to plan, and you need these 3 strong. Because, hey, 2014, I don't know if I'd have broken them up at that point, but you know what? 2014, from the end of 2013 on, you're the Shield.
Absolutely.
You believe in the Shield.
I know I did.
So
I still do, to a degree.
Well, like I said, for a couple of matches, aside from the U.S.
Let's go over the results. You have AJ winning the
AJ
Divas
beating
title.
Natalya.
You have the Shield going over in their 6-man. You have Brock Lesnar defeating Cesaro. You have The Rock defeating Dolph Ziggler. You have Ryback beating Randy Orton. You have Daniel Bryan going over on Triple H. And you have CM Punk finally, after all this time, he gets his redemption.
Yep.
Now, let's see.
And all he wanted out of all this was to main event WrestleMania. And we got so much more than that.
In our story. Now, let's see. To finish this video, we have CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, Ryback, The Shield. That's 8 guys.
And we're definitely missing some people. All in the main event picture.
I'm not counting the guys that are already established, like Cena, Triple H, Batista, and The Rock.
Right.
I mean, Triple H, Lesnar, and The Rock.
Yeah, Lesnar, I'm sorry.
Which, if you add that for them, that's 12 guys. 12 guys that the fans take seriously. You're telling me you couldn't do that? You just had to make one guy out of the entire Summer Punk thing. Who ended up coming out on top in the end? It was fucking Cena. And nobody else benefited.
So
how did we do that?
Well, it was on the fly. I mean, aside from, I'm sure we have some continuity errors somewhere. I'm sure we do, because, that's what you do when you get on the fly. But, it's like, that's just what goes to show you, is that, when you book everything
like
properly,
everyone,
everything matters. When you have titles that mean something. When the titles are more important than being the face of the company, that's what happens.
And that, ladies and gentlemen,
is
the summer of CM Punk. We thank you. We hope you guys enjoyed what you voted for.
I hope they did.
And I'm just letting you know, we didn't forget your other voting. You guys voted for the Invasion.
What was the second?
The 2 choices was WCW, the NWO storyline, which was the NWO storyline, but the first place was the Invasion. People want to see the Invasion retold.
I see.
Which you guys will have by Christmas, because it's going to take us a while. But by the holiday season, you will have the Invasion retold to you the right way.
Well, one of the right ways. I mean, remember, we're competing with a lot of people who've rebooked us already, like Cornette and Russo, and we can't touch them. But
we could touch Russo.
Well,
easily.
Do you want to?
Not really. I'd rather not. But, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed yourselves. I know this was a lot, but we gave you our best, and we hope you enjoy it. Take care, guys.